I just whatever.
Anyone who's tuning in now is a masochist, and we love you for that. All right, let's roll. Yo, it is a just disastrous, devastating edition of High Hopes podcast, presented by Miller Lite, official partner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller Time. Philadelphia, celebrate responsibly. I think Jack leaving his spot and just an empty image there, if you're not watching the YouTube, is pretty appropriate of how we feel right now. Honestly, I just said to Jack before we start recording, I said, I'm just going to wait until we start recording. So, let's just friggin' do this. I have not come that close to crying about sports since Joe Carter hit a home run when I was 12 years old, and I sat there and cried my little eyes out. Like, that was the most devastating way to lose a game that I can remember. Like, I've been trying to in the 10 minutes since the game ended before we started recording, I've been trying to cycle through the devastating losses and moments in my time as a Philadelphia sports fan. And like, obviously, we've got them. The Super Bowl a few years ago was won the World Series and stuff, but it wasn't, it was Jordan Alvarez. We remember that moment. And we remember, the flag on Bradbury, and we knew it was over, and this and that and all that stuff. But like, to have that game, that epic, awesome, playoff game that was just as on the edge of my seat as I have been for 3 plus 4 hours, whatever the hell it ended up being. Like, I was I couldn't breathe. I felt like, and Jack, for it to end that way I again been racking my brain. I think the single biggest individual athlete choke moment that I remember. Like, we've had athletes, come up small before, but I can't remember an individual guy like having such a bad all-time blunder, all-time choke moment as Orion Kerkering had tonight. Like, it was just the most depressing, heartbreaking way for it to end. How you doing, man? I'm sure, I know there are a lot of people who love to give you crap, but I'm sure there are also a lot of people, and certainly listeners of this pod out there, who are feeling up for ourselves, but also feeling for you, knowing how hard you're taking this. I'm sure. How you doing, pal?
I can't believe it. I really
I
can't.
know. I'm still in shock.
I sat there and I had because I just had Twitter open for, I felt like 3 minutes. I didn't know what to say. I've never seen that before. I really haven't. It was one of those things that it's almost like you saw it happening in slow motion.
I know, dude. You're so right. I was like, don't throw it home.
Because your initial reaction is, oh my gosh, perfect. Like Andy Baez, who has been an absolute choke artist this entire series, grounded out, and then you're like, oh, he's got plenty of time, and then it's like he's turning towards home, and then you're like, well, he has time. No, he doesn't have any time, and then he freaking sails it halfway into the bleachers.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god,
dude! I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I think that I'm gonna be telling my kids about that. I think I'm gonna be telling. I mean, for years and years, the Orion, like, someone's gonna find some proper way to name that. But like, I mean, there's Orion's belt. Is there Orion's meltdown?
Yeah, I mean, like it's it.
Well, let me start with this. They didn't lose the game because of Orion Kerkering. So let's put that out.
Like Harper was over 5, Turner was over 5, Schwarber was 1 for 5, whatever. There's a lot of stuff in there, yeah.
And dude, it was just, it was such a gritty, grinded out, two of the best freaking teams in baseball, and it really, I honestly got more mad about games 1 and 2 than I got about that game. I really did, because if they could have stolen one of these games, we'd be gearing up for CBP on Saturday. But I cannot believe that happened. I cannot believe in the bottom of my. I've seen the Phillies lose. James, I've seen the Phillies invent ways to lose baseball games. Invent ways to lose. I've never imagined that.
You wrote a book about it. That was the heart of the book.
I've never seen
the
them
pain
lose
and the love.
and a part of me is kind of I like this pain. This is a different kind of pain. It really is. This is sicko bleep. All I want to do is curse. All I want to do is curse and curse and curse and curse and curse and curse and curse. But like that is the sickest, most twisted. Dude, I was ready to say this is the Primo game from the Flyers back in the early 2000s. That's what it felt like it was setting up for. I tweeted feels like a loss 3 times, James. I never, ever felt like they were going to lose that baseball game. I never really felt it because I had so much belief that somehow, some way, through the guts and guile of this baseball team, that they were going to eke it out. They were going to eke it out, and they were going to get this back to CBP. And it was going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful moment against a juggernaut Dodgers team. And oh my God, he threw it over JT's freaking head in the most Orion Kerkering way possible. I don't know how you come back from that. I just don't.
I know.
Because it's no one in the rest of their comprehending of sports lives is going to forget Orion Kerkering throwing home and bleeping down his leg with the chance to get it back to CBP. Again, it's not the reason they lost this baseball game tonight. But also, like, dude, I don't know, man. They shut the Dodgers down, and the Dodgers kind of choked it away too. And sometimes you got to win a baseball game 2-1. It's not going to be like everyone has to step up, but man, I loved this team. I loved this team, and the finality of this, it just sucks, man. It just sucks. Losing in that, like Rondé Barber, Joe Carter, the Kawhi shot, that.
Yeah, and even Rondé Barber, like you knew it was over at that time, but and the Joe Carter thing, like that's like a walk off and it ends it, and it's the World Series, but it's a guy hitting a home run and doing a job or whatever, like this is. I mean, how many times has he fielded a ball like that? How many times? Like, how do you not instinctually throw the ball to first base? It's just when it's so unavoidably a choke moment, like you said peed down his leg, like that's what happened. Like he, in the biggest moment of the series, of the game, of everything, like his brain stopped working. And to your point, Jack, like I hope that mentally he can get over it, because that is like that, like I am sure he'll never forget about it. Like I'm sure that's something that's gonna stick in his head forever, and who knows how long it takes him to get back to normal after it, but at the same time, I mean, how could you ever trust that guy in a big moment again? Like, I certainly know Phillies fan is. And honestly, to your point, as much as like I don't know what you do with, like, I mean, he's like he's under a cheap contract and this and
He's
that.
not,
But, like,
yeah, dude.
But like I don't know that he can pitch in Philadelphia. Like I'm with you. Like I think to your point, I think look, I'm 44 years old, man. Like I have a kid. You have kids now. Like Orion Kerkering's like 24 years old or 25 or whatever. Like I can like be super angry at him, and I am, and I'm like so disappointed.
I feel bad for him.
But that's my point, is like he's like a kid. He's a kid who had like the worst moment of his life just now in front of the world, and ended the hopes and dreams of players, his teammates, of millions of fans. And like I'm mad about it. Like don't get me wrong. Like I will never be able to trust him in a big spot. Like I or maybe it'll take a really long time or whatever. And like I'm not saying that I would like get off my team, but I think there's going to be a lot of people who feel that way. And I feel just like, I'm just so sad, man. Like I feel so gutted. Like it feels like 165 games and it ends on that. Like it feels so unfair to everyone. Like, man, and yeah, like, as the offseason goes on, we're gonna talk a lot more about Harper and Schwarber and Turner having one game, and that game was awesome. But on the whole, for the series, they didn't come through. And after flipping the switch last night and the whole thing, like, that's gonna be talked about. Like, it will. Brandon Marsh had a horrible series. Like, we're gonna talk about these things, and there were guys who stepped up. I mean, Zeus coming in that spot out of I mean, what a freaking king that guy is. Like, and freaking should have had been out of the inning. Sanchez got screwed on that second strike call, that ultimate, or the third strike call, that
the out call.
Yeah, and that ultimately leads to Duran walking in a run. I mean, to think that the season's over because a guy who had one walk with the Phillies this year walked in a run, and then you lose on that. On again, Jack, and we joke. And this is not jokey time. I'm being dead freaking serious. We joke about, like, you as a major league pitcher, you would have thrown the ball to first base in that spot. Like, it's such an obvious instinctual thing. Like, as a baseball player, like when I was playing baseball, and look, I was never even close to what you were, much less close to it. But like when I grew up playing baseball my whole life, when my dad taught me baseball, the first thing he said is, like, always know what you're going to do in every situation. When you're fielding, when you're on the base pass, whatever, like, know if the ball comes to you, what are you doing with it? What's the situation? Like, and it feels like, and I know he had a moment, must have like lost his mind in a moment, but at the same time, like, how do you not know to throw to first base in that spot that you should be at least he just lost his mind. I get it. He lost his mind. He blacked out. But like, man, I'm sorry, dude. You can't black out in that spot, man. And I feel so bad for him, but I'm so angry and sad. So it's like, it's a tough one, man. I don't really know how to talk about it that well. Like, I don't, like, it sucks. This sucks.
I don't think I know how to properly express sadness, anger, and disbelief in one pop. Like, that is what we're trying to overcome right now. So let's hit on the sad part.
Yeah.
The sad part is, dude, I don't care what anyone says tomorrow. I'll fight. I've never been in a fight in my life. I will fight any single person that tells me that this team didn't battle tonight. Like,
no question.
You can be frustrated. You can be frustrated with the offense, but dude, like, and I promise I'm not trying to sound cop-outy. The Dodgers pitchers are really freaking good, man. And it's not like the Dodgers beat up this Phillies pitching staff. The Phillies pitching staff matched that team mano a mano. Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes you're gonna have to win a game 2-1, and your offense isn't gonna be perfect. Like, it's baseball. Like, I can't be so dumb to believe that, like, these guys weren't even trying. That team showed a lot of freaking heart, man. And those are the two best teams in baseball. And it just freaking blows that they played in the first round. That's what sucks. That's what I'm mad about tonight. Is that, well, I'm not. There's a lot. I'm
That's
not
what
mad.
you're sad about. You're sad
I'm
about
sad
it. I am too. I agree with everything you said.
Because, like, dude, that's a 7-game series, man. That's a 7-game series, and we're gonna look back on the Robertson decision. We're gonna look back on the bunt more than we're gonna. Well, actually, that's not true. I'm never gonna forget. So I just
no. As sad as it is, because I totally agree with you, and this was a well-fought series. And they even fought back in game 2. Like, I know that it sucked the way it ended in that one too, with the dumb decisions, and even the decision to bunt, which was horrible, and all these things. But, like, they fought. This team went toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. At no point in this series were they overmatched, were they outplayed. With, like, honestly, there was only one game where one team dominated, and it was game 3. Like, Jack, I'm 100% with you. Like, we can talk about some bad at-bats from Trey Turner tonight and Kyle Schwarber in some spots where you need more for your big guys. And, like, there are discussions about that. But on the whole, man, like, the Dodgers are awesome. Roki Sasaki was freaking unreal tonight. Like, one of the better relief performances I've ever seen in a playoff game. Like, really, he was outstanding. And, I'm with you. Like, I'm bummed and I'm a little disappointed in the top of the lineup just when you look at the numbers. But on the whole, this team, man, they fought so hard. And they, again, to your point, they ran into a great team, a capital G great team. This is the most talented teams I have ever seen in my life watching baseball. Just pure talent, like the guys that they have. I mean, like Roki Sasaki would have got $100 million if he had been a free agent coming in. You know what I mean? But like that, like it's just, and he's coming out of the pen for them. Like anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I want to hammer that home. I totally agree with you. I have so much love for this team and what they did this year and how they brought me back in. And it sucks that it sucks that it ended like this.
And I don't feel any shame in saying that. I don't feel any shame in saying that I am proud and I love a baseball team that lost in the NLDS to the Dodgers. I don't feel that way. And even when now again, this is all before Orion Kerkering threw the ball into the Scott Fransky's booth at Dodger Stadium with a chance to throw to first base and extend the game. But as the game was winding down, I was like, dude, they're fighting an uphill battle here. If someone doesn't pop a home run, I have no faith in their ability to win this game.
Yeah, I thought I felt the same way. I did not feel confident. I was like, I get me one run.
Dude,
That's the Bader.
It was the Bader at bat.
Yeah.
It was the Bader at bat. I thought he was going to get hit there so bad. But as the game was winding down and as you started accepting your fate, I guess, in a way, I was fully prepared to say, dude, bring these guys back. There needs to be tweaks. There needs to be adjustments. But there's just a damn good baseball team here, man. Like and maybe you're just the Rockets that had to go against the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like maybe that is who you are. But I felt like that they were just right there. They're right there. And that's what makes the first two games so annoying. If they could have just stolen one of those games. We're talking about a game 5 at CBP that is crazy. And it's not going to happen, and we have to accept that, whatever. But I don't sit here. I don't sit here after that loss feeling hopeless. We have sat here and we have done post-game shows after series losses where we said, break up the core. What's the point? You have to change the chemistry, yada, yada, yada. I don't feel that way. I think there needs to be tweaks. I think Castellanos, the perpetual Alec Boehm decision, bringing back Harrison Bader is a who knows how the series goes if Harrison Bader's healthy, by the way.
So that dude, that's what I was going to say. I was like, if you want to just point to one thing where if Harrison Bader doesn't get hurt in game 1, maybe they win game 1, maybe they win game 2, maybe they win tonight. Like all these close games, Bader could have played a massive role in. Dude, I'm with you. There's obviously going to be some changes. Like they're not going to be able to bring back Kyle Schwarber, Ranger Suarez, JT, like all Bader. Like it's a lot of money, you know what I mean? And I don't think that they're going to be able to, or they're going to prioritize bringing all those guys back, especially when, I do think they want Andrew Painter to be a part of the rotation next year. And I do think that they want Justin Crawford to play for this team. And, I think there are spots where, we'll see what happens. But look, I agree with you for the most part. I do think that they do, like, guys are getting older. I mean, Bryce Harper, we saw it this year. I mean, Bryce, look, this postseason, Bryce wasn't Bryce. Bryce, even Schwarber had the 2-homer game. Schwarber, on the whole didn't have a great series, and Turner had a 3-8 game, but didn't have an awesome series. So, like, they're 1 year older each, even if they bring Schwarber back, which I think they're definitely going to try to. But, JT, which I think they'll bring back 35 or whatever he's going to be, like. So I get it, but I do think they're going to have to find an infusion of something from an offensive perspective. Like they're just going to have to. I think, look, if Wheeler can be healthy and Sanchi, Luzardo, Painter, who knows what happens there, like beef up the pen a little bit seems like a very doable thing. They need something offensively, something different, and Bader part of it, but they're going to.
And I don't want my last statement to be like just run back with the same team, because I agree with you. Like I guess my main point is that
these guys aren't losers, is what you're trying to say. Like Nick Castellanos might be a loser despite his hit tonight, but
that's a big hit.
No, it was a good hit. That's why I want to give him credit. I ripped him, but still, like, I still think what he said is outrageous, and I don't want him back. Honestly, I really don't want Nick back on the Phillies.
He won't be back.
I know, and I don't want him back. Like, I don't care. They had a couple hits in the postseason. Like, I don't think he's a winning baseball player. I don't think he's a winning guy. Like, so like I would be very happy to get rid of him to start there. But look, we're not there yet. Like, let's get to the mad part, because I think we've elucidated the sad pretty good. You see that word right there?
It's way too big of a word for this podcast.
I know, way too big. That's we got some smart listeners, dude. We got some like high-end intelligent people who listen to this pod. So that was for them.
Well, and to be clear, most of my dumbness is a bit. Just kidding. So
we did one laugh. No more laughs. Let's get mad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I don't know, man. Like, my mad, I'm actually it's just the Kerkering thing, but I feel bad for Kerkering, but also throw the bleeping ball to first base, just throw the ball to first base, dude. So, like, all right, can I just?
Yeah, we got to get mad about it a little bit. Like,
no, but hold on, for 1 second.
I'm mad about it. Like, how do you not throw the ball to first base, Jack?
So, all right, just hear me out for 1 second. Just hear me out for 1 second. Is there a part of you that's like, I'm gonna be able to tell my kids about that? Like,
no.
I'm not hitting the right note. I'm not hitting the right note.
Not at all. Let me ask you a question. What happened to David Robertson? Like, why?
Fair point.
Right? Like, what? David Robertson's a 40-year-old vet who's been in a lot of big spots. That was a big spot. You're bringing in a right, which I was fine with like going to the right-hander there. I was totally fine with the decision. And in the moment, I was even fine, like I was fine with the decision making. But what happened to David Robertson? He pitched in that game one, and then like I would personally, especially because Kerkering pitched last night, and I know he's looked good, but he pitched last night. Like,
I know.
Why would you go to a fresh arm David Robertson, who's been in so many big spots in that situation, in a dirty inning with runners on, when Kerkering has not been great with inherited runners this year? Like, that's been like his biggest freaking thing. It didn't, like, again, and I'm not killing Topper tonight. Like, I think I blame, a lot more things on tonight's loss than Topper. And Topper had a great night last night. We can go back to game 2 and have issues with the bunt, which I do, and all this stuff. But I do think that it's fair to say, why are you going to Orion Kerkering in that spot?
Yeah, I think they just believed in the way.
Trusted him like so much in this series.
They overtrusted him,
and he was fine. But like he did, like Turner obviously didn't bail him out in game 1 and stuff. But like he still, like, other than the clean inning in the game they were down, like he didn't really pitch amazing,
Well, it was funny. They overtrusted him, and then every single person sitting on their couch was like, "I don't trust him at all."
Totally. I mean, it was. Dude, my brother texted me, and obviously Kike walked. My brother texted me, Kike versus Kerkering with the game on the line is the stuff of my nightmares. And I'm like, yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I was like, this feels like the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and I think they lost some faith in David Robertson. David Robertson hadn't necessarily done a job, but at the same time,
I mean, that you put him in a bad spot, but okay.
But at the same time, he's 40. He's been there before. Dude, I really didn't even think about it because I saw Kerkering warming up, and I was like, well, I guess I have to mentally prepare myself for Orion Kerkering coming in this baseball game. And maybe it's one of those things like they're trying to piece out their future. I don't know. Like, he's gonna in the perfect world be someone that's gonna have to get that out.
I just think Topper overtrusts him. I think
I think that's probably
he
fair.
Has more faith in Kerkering than, and obviously even before the disastrous moment where, again, to black out in that moment, it's just like an all-time, how can I trust you in a big moment again kind of moment thing. But even before that, like, it's like at no point in the past 2 playoffs, or 3 playoffs that Kerkering's been a part of, has he gone out and been like, other than, I guess, when he was down 5-3 or up in the game big, like he's just, he's never come into a big spot and gotten the job done. And you can blame other circumstances and stuff. And he's never been like the worst ever, give up a run or this or that. But like, man, like, I don't know. I didn't love going him there, especially again after pitching yesterday. Like, I just don't get, Robertson hasn't pitched. Like, his arm going to be fresher? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things. I don't want to like jump forward to the offseason, but finding another real right-handed option before Duran is huge. And
left-handed, because I don't know that Strom we can trust as like the go-to lefty out of the pen next year if you want to be an elite. think he's good, but like, wouldn't you rather have like and I guess Alvarado? I mean, is he coming back? I mean,
He's got an option. He's got an
I
option.
know.
That was a serious sneeze. That was a good sneeze.
I know. Thanks,
but
buddy. We're struggling through this.
But yeah, I mean, Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver. Does that interest you at all? But
sure, buddy.
But that's my thing, man. That's my thing. Is that I think I sit here. I still sit here feeling mostly shocked. I'm really not that mad. I think I'm sad and shocked over mad. Again, I tweeted this out while the podcast has been going on. You know how I brought up when you die, you have the 7-minute highlight of your life?
Oh, yeah.
The Kerkering.
Real quick, just for people listening, this is not like a factual thing or anything. This is
I saw it on Instagram.
Yes. I just want people not seeing it and think that like you've like where people are searching for this. Is this a real thing? Did I didn't know about it? Anyway, go ahead.
So people say that when you die,
people say yes.
You have a 7-minute highlight before you pass on, and I mean, what a hopeful message, by the way. But I really think that the Orion Kerkering throwing the ball to Francis
Stop. I hate you.
Is going to be on it.
Oh, I hate you so much. You're such a sick and twisted individual.
It's going to be on it, dude. It's going to be on it. I'm letting you know. know.
So, speaking of it, are you going to think of it this way? Because Tucker has a good name for it, and it's true. And I actually almost referenced this before, and I want to know if you know your baseball history. And I also want to know, and Tucker, text me and let me know if you were referring to the famous play in baseball history. So I grew up. One of
I know what it is.
I'm happy. One of the books my dad got me was like a book of like just famous baseball moments and things or whatever. And I read about Merkel's boner. You know about Merkel's boner?
Orion's boner.
Yep, Orion's boner. So Merkel's boner, for those who know, is Cubs Giants back in like early 1900s. Boner, Merkel, excuse me, had a base running gap. They end up losing, and I'm losing the pennant. And it went down as Merkel's boner as like a really famous baseball play for a long time, as like the all-time example of a guy just blacking out and having a horrible moment that cost his team the game, like Orion's boner. I mean, I think it was like over 100 years ago or something. Like, we can re-rock it. I think it's been long enough for a new boner named play.
Dude, I swear that's what I was trying to think of.
It's perfect, Tucker.
It's perfect.
It's freaking so perfect. It is exactly the right thing. Like, it's exactly the right thing. And it also shows how rare it is for someone to just lose their mind like this in the moment, like that, as bad as he did.
Well, Tucker, I'm going to need that for I think the sanity of our listeners. That has to be the title of the podcast.
Oh, that is the all-time. Like, we a lot of times will like do a pod and be like, oh, there's our title. And it'll be like, oh, that's clearly the title. There's never been a more that is the title of the podcast. And I mean, that's the title.
Did you think they were going to lose tonight as the game was going on?
So I went right back and forth, buddy. I was, to use another big word for our smart listeners, I was vacillating back and forth between win and loss. Like when Zeus was dealing, I honestly, Zeus was one of the things that gave me the most confidence, where I was like, dude, we're going to win this game. Like Zeus is coming in here and giving him that. Like, that's going to pick guys up. Like, let's go. Like, freaking Zeus. And then once we couldn't hit me, it was one of those things where it really went with like the pitching, and we would get outs, and I'd be like, all right. And then every inning would just kind of go down offensively with a whimper. And again, I think there's a lot of reasons for it. We're gonna talk that out. We're not there yet. Like, unfortunately, I have to do an Eagles podcast tonight too, Jack. Think about how horrible that is.
Are they down 10 right now?
They're down 27-17 to the New York Giants. Honestly, don't even care. Like, I only care because people will just be in a worse mood tomorrow. But like, this is meaningless tonight. Like, the Phillies are the only thing that matters. Like, this is, the Eagles have a lot of games left. This would be a disastrous loss, but they got a lot of games left. Like this is and for a week, for whatever, like, honestly, for an off season, like, that's why this sucks so much, Jack, because it's like, it's such a, the most unfulfilling end to a season you could possibly have. And now we have to wait till freaking March to watch him play again. And it's late March. And it's just like Well, I don't care. You're right, though. Technically, to technically watch him play, a meaningful game again, it's going to be March, and at late March, and it just sucks. Like I don't want to not watch this baseball. Like
I know.
we had so much freaking fun, and for it to freaking end on that, for that to be the thing that we have in our memories, like that's what we're gonna think about. Think about the Phillies. First thing I'm gonna think about for the next 6 months or whatever the hell it is. I almost said stupid Orion Kerkering. I don't mean stupid. Like the stupid Orion Kerkering moment. Like, like just like that stupid moment where a guy for a second just completely forgot how to do his job and completely forgot what was happening or lost his mind or who the hell knows what happened to him in that moment. But like to watch it in the moment and to see the replay and to like it is rare, Jack, in life, much less in sports, that you watch someone have a moment like that, dude. And that's why I feel so bad for him, but also so bad for all of us as fans. Like, it's like, that's why it sucks, because I feel bad for this kid. Again, he is a kid, but like, I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for me. I feel so bad for every father with their kids who's been watching this playoffs together, and every young kid who's getting excited about the Phillies, every old person who's like, how many more playoffs do I have? Like all that stuff. Like I'm old now. Like, I don't know how many playoffs I have. Like, I didn't see that many to start with for the long portion of my freaking life. You know what I mean? So like, I get that people are mad at him. I'm just mad that this is how we have to live with this, man, that we have to freaking live with this as the end to it. Like it's just the worst possible. It's like, honestly, it's the worst ending to a season since Ryan Howard tore his Achilles. That is the worst way that a season has ended since Ryan Howard has torn his Achilles, because there was that sadness and like a real injury with it and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of a Phillies season that ended more sad, right? Can you, just because of the moment that I'm talking just the last moment of it. I'm only talking the last play of the season. I'm not saying losing the World Series being like the last month. Nah. We lost it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying the last time a season was this sad when it ended was when Ryan Howard was laying on the ground in a heap with a torn Achilles. Like, that's how sad this moment is to end the season.
Or Ryan Howard striking out against Brian Wilson then in 2010 NLCS in Game 6 with a run.
But that was further ago, so that wouldn't be since. That wouldn't be since.
That's a fair point.
That's my point.
That's
since
a fair
11.
Point.
Yeah.
Well, and I do legitimately feel bad for Ryan Kerkering. I know that he theoretically ended our season, but really the bats ended our season, and dude, he's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life. And I hope that he can come out the other side a stronger guy.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's something that he uses as fuel. I'm not totally sure that is going to be the case.
I mean, it could absolutely break him. Like, it could. I hope it doesn't, to your point. Like, but things like this have absolutely impacted people's careers before. Like, it's and this one, like I said, might be the biggest in my lifetime in terms of just an individual athlete having a choke, blunder, mind fart, whatever you want to call it in the moment. Just like, I can't remember a bigger, more impactful athlete just completely and totally choking in a moment. Like,
I mean, like, you're talking about, like, Ronnie Barber picked the ball off. Joe Carter hit a home run.
But, like, that's my point. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Kawhi
hit a shot. Like, Ben Simmons passing up the dunk, kinda, I guess. But, like, that's not as bad as this was. I mean, it's just not. Like, it's just not. It's not. Like, that's like weak and whatever. But like, he did pass it to Thibault, and Thibault could have gotten it. Like, whatever. Like, this season ended because this guy had the worst brain like moment of all time. Like, that's it. Like, there's no like. So like, it's just. I know. For him, for all of it, like, it's just such a bad one. Like, look, I heard I'll say to Ryan Kerkering is a phrase. Brian Dawkins was on our show, and he said a phrase. I'm sure he said it a million times, but I thought it was so good and so concise. But he was talking about all the stuff they went through and how he's like always tries to grow through things. And he's like, if you're gonna go through it, then grow through it. And it's like simple, but it's it's the only message that I think Orion Kerkering has to hear right now is that you're gonna go through it, buddy. Like, this is gonna suck. this is going to suck so much. And I'm sure he feels it. To your point, like, I think there is maybe no one on the planet who is more upset right now than him. For how he let his teammates down, for how he let himself down, for how he let his family down, for how he let millions of fans down. But people are going to be mad. People are going to be upset. There's going to be like idiots who say dumb things. Yeah, and no one's going to forget it. It will never leave him. It will never leave him. So, I just, man, like, there's no other choice for you but to like try and find a way to grow through this thing and use this as something that you can learn from him, because you're young, man. You got your whole life in front of you, dude. Like, I am like, find a way. And I know it's hard. Like, and I can't imagine being in that spot. Like, Jack, like you and I, like, if people say something mean about us, it hurts, like, I can't imagine what that guy in that public and that big, and we're talking to like a fraction of the people who watched that baseball game and saw that thing, so it just, I really hope he can find a way to use it as something that up down the road can be a growing thing.
But I also can't believe he threw it to Fransky's.
I can't believe he did it, dude. I can't believe he did it. I know.
I swear to God, I sat on the couch and I wasn't even mad. It was one of those things where
it was like state of shock. It was like, it really was. It was like I disassociated. I felt like again at first, and I disassociated, and then I honestly felt like I wanted to cry. Like it didn't cry, but it like welled up a bit because I felt so sad for him, for us, for the Phillies, for the moment, for that game ending that way. Like, it all just hit me so hard, and I was like, this sucks.
Totally. They're right there. And you know what's funny, man, is that they lost to a very good team. I really don't have that hopeless feeling. I've come on here after losses and had way more hopeless, this is over, blah 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 blah. They got it. They got a good DNA here. They got a good DNA. And they ran into a freaking. They ran into a juggernaut. Like, I'd be surprised that team doesn't win the World Series again. Like,
I agree.
I really, especially with what they've added in the bullpen and Saki.
I would be shocked if anyone beats them.
Not being able to get to glass now was really annoying. I mean, tonight's loss is not an Orion. Tonight's loss is on the big guys at the top.
It just is. Like, again, we can excuse that the Dodgers have great pitching. They do. And again, I'll say it again, Roki Sasaki, like, I'm not mad at anyone for not hitting him. Like, I get that. Like, like that dude looked unhittable tonight. But like, Bryce Harper was 0 for 5. Trey Turner was 0 for 5. Kyle Schwarber was like 1 for 5 or whatever it was. And especially after last night and putting up those numbers and Kyle Schwarber flipping the switch and all that stuff, like, man, like,
I know
it sucks. It sucks because, like, a lot of people are going to focus on Orion Kerkering, and again, it's a horrible moment and it deserves its share of the pie. But man, like, it's tough because we got that one night and we're like, they're back, and then it was like, oh, not back. Sorry, we are not at all back.
They kind of I don't know. They kind of were. I know, like the offense.
It felt like they were. I know. It was just a tough one. They just didn't get anything going. The shadows to this, like, come on, just, again, at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry, we know how this stuff works, and I think there's all gray areas to all this. And to your point, on the whole, I really do come out of this like, I'm not like everyone sucks and this team stinks and I can never watch these guys in the playoffs. I'll never, like, they're a disaster. They can never win. Like, it's 4 baseball games against great pitching and all that type of stuff. But I do think that you have to keep it real and say that, they lost this game primarily, and you said it, primarily because, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Kyle Schwarber couldn't do anything, even if it's great pitching. That's why you get paid $300 million, $330 million. That's why you're about to get paid whatever, 150 or whatever else Schwarber is going to make. Like, because, I know there's great pitching, but that's what great hitting's for. And I know that, Jack, you'll always say a great pitcher's going to win, but, like, sorry, like, Robert Suarez is a great pitcher. Bryce Harper bent him off the bank on him in a 1-2 count. Like, like, sometimes you got to rise up. And when your team loses, even in a small sample size, I do think it's fair to say that, they were absolutely not good enough. And that's, a couple postseasons in a row for most of them,
Yeah. I mean, That's totally
It's what it
fair.
is. It's what it is. It's what it is. Again, on the whole, I don't. To your point, I
But
would say they're.
like I don't
I'm
leave
not
this.
hopeless either. I'm not hopeless either. I don't leave this feeling like they didn't show up. They choked. That I think there are spots we can point to. Again, I agree with you. Like honestly, I go back to game 2 and I do think like I think that missed opportunity, whether between the decision to bunt or how, like I think that missed opportunity in the 9th inning of game 2 is probably where they lost the series ultimately. That and at the end of the day, Orion, giving this game away here because I do think they could have won that game if it kept going. But who knows? They might not have, obviously. But I do think that at the end of the day, I don't think I'm not like embarrassed. I'm not like last year. I felt like embarrassed with the performance, and I don't feel. I think I beat by a better team, probably like certainly a more talented team, like a flat out more talented team,
more talented, but barely better. That's
and that's a good point, Jack. You're right. Like again, I think this Phillies team could have, if they won game 2, they had it right there. They could have won game 1. And again, just on a simple level, and it's excusey, but if Barry doesn't get hurt, they might win the series. Like flat, they I don't want to say they probably win the series, but like
what
it's
if
hard
Wheeler
to say.
doesn't get hurt? And
then exactly, but you know what? People get hurt in baseball. A guy getting hurt in game 1 of the series like that feels different. You know what I mean? I agree with you. Like, but look, if they have Wheeler, I think they win this series. I'm with you. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Dude, I gotta be honest.
I'm just saying you gotta call it out and say that next postseason, if they get there, like they need more from these guys if they're gonna win, like flat out.
And that's totally fine. And it's not that I disagree with you. It's just that I sit here and I do feel more proud of these guys than mad at these guys. I really do.
Well, so again, I feel a lot more proud of there's way more pride for me with Chris Sanchez and with Jesus Luzardo and with like these guys and Aaron Nolan, Ranger Suarez, and even guys like JT Realmuto. I feel super proud about how he played this series and stuff like that. Like, and again, I'm not saying I don't feel somewhat proud of I feel proud of I agree with you. I feel more pride than not with how they played.
You want the 3 at the top to do better.
Yeah, but like I don't feel proud about how Schwarber, Turner, and Harper played. I can't say that I do. And look, defensively, Turner made some freaking amazing plays tonight, and that was huge. And Harper was great all series. I think you could quibble if he should have thrown the ball to second base in that spot. I don't know. I get taking the fair out, but like whatever. But like Bryce has to be better in those spots. He has to. He just has to. He has to find a way, and maybe he can't. Maybe that's the thing that we should be most concerned about is that Bryce just can't. But like for right now, again, I am not mad. I'm not freaking out. I'm not saying these guys suck, but like I am saying that as proud as I am of them as a whole, for the most part, like I am more disappointed than proud with Harper and Schwarber and Turner offensively in the way they produce.
And that's fair. I really wish it would have called the strike on Alex Gall.
Me too. Me too. I thought that was a pivotal moment. Pivotal.
And I don't even blame like Duran that much. I thought Duran did his job. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Throw a strike, but yeah, I
throw
know.
Throw a strike. And I will say I don't hate the decision. I don't blame Topper at all for walking Ohtani there. I know Ohtani's been cold and people are like, I want to challenge him. Like Ohtani's just waiting to bust out. Like I'm not challenging Ohtani for any reason. It's a righty lefty thing. It made all the sense in the world. Set up forces at other spots. And again, a guy who hasn't walked anyone all year essentially for you to walk someone. Like, I don't blame Topper for the decision. I blame Duran a little bit for not being able to throw a strike when he absolutely had to. Like his stuff in that spot, 3-2, like your stuff is good enough and hard enough where you just have to, if you have control, like throw a freaking strike. And if he hits it. Like that's the deal. But you got to throw a strike there. But again, he came in the next inning, pitch well. Like I'm not killing Duran or anything,
You know what sucks too is that Trinan was right there. They're so close to getting Trinan in.
I was like, we get him to Trinan, get it to Trinan. I actually thought when we pinch hit Bader that they would bring Trinan in that spot, and they didn't. Yeah, because he had faced the 3 by getting to Bohm because he went Schwarber, Harper, Bohm. So you don't have to keep Vezina in there. So I really thought he was going to go to Trinan in that spot when we brought Bader in. He kept Vezina in. I thought that was such an opportunity. They showed the Bader 2 for 3 again. So I was like, let's go. And
I know. For as much as I want Schwarber back and I think JT I'll take back and a lot of these guys, I want Harrison Bader back
More
so
than any
bad.
of them. Honestly, I really want him to bat. I think he is the one thing that gives me hope for a different type of vibe and a different, like the whole like run it back thing. Like I am cool running Harrison Bader and whatever happens because of it back. All right. Let's wrap this up, Fritzy, because I gotta watch the last quarter of this freaking disaster over here because I have to stay up and do another podcast tonight. And you know, look, we'll be back soon.
Yeah, dude, we're
Next
not
week.
going.
I would say
Yeah,
next week we'll be back, and then we'll set up
yeah,
the off season and start to talk. But like now's about the emotion of the tonight, and again, like really just like, and that's the thing. Like we talked about how like the bunt would be remembered as this all time Philly moment, decision, and all that if they lost the series. And now it's like, sure, like we'll remember it as the bunt, but like Orion's boner is like just like it's almost that I think in 30 years and 50 years, it'll be the only thing that's remembered of the series. Like there is one iconic, and it's sad, but like there will be one thing that will be iconic from this series, and it'll be Orion's boner. Like this will never be forgotten. Like it'll be Philly sports lore forever. And that sucks, but that's what it is, man. That's what tonight was.
yeah. I totally agree. It sucks for him, but
Yeah.
we're never
And for us too, bro.
and for us too. But we're never gonna forget that moment for the rest of our lives. Which, on one hand, kind of
Nope,
exciting.
don't stop. Don't do it. It's not exciting. It's not exciting. It's not exciting. Not exciting. It's not. It's so not exciting. Let me tell you. I'm older than you. I'm wiser in such things.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember it.
Yeah, but I man, I kind of forget what I was gonna say because it's just been such a
Feels like an appropriate way to close it out.
well, it's been a highly emotional podcast,
As it
and
should be. It was a
and
highly emotional series. Honestly, that game, like we talked about it before, but Jack, I mean, it's been a long, like even over this run, like it's been a long time since we had a game like that. Like
yeah.
a tie, one run, the back and forth, extra innings. Like I don't
Well,
remember how many.
It was Astros game one.
Yeah, it was Astros game one, but that was more scoring. That was different. It felt like this felt like a game where like one run's gonna win it. Like that's it. Like like where it's like I don't know. It just you're right. That's probably the closest comp in this whole run. But even then, that felt like a different game. That was back and forth, and the Astros said it was a 5-3 game, and then they came back, and then like it felt like was it like I just. It felt like a long time since we've had like a razor's edge game like that, just from start to finish, where it really felt like this is gonna be 1-0 or 2-1 or 1-1. Like it had that feel the entire time, and and then to end like that,
So I now remember what I was gonna say. Is that
collective sigh of relief? We just felt
not to bring not to bring everyone down even more.
Oh God, can we finish this? I'm really ready to be done now. We've reached my point. No, I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But and while I do feel more like hopeful, I guess, in a way, more than anything, because I do think that's a damn good baseball team that lost to a great team. The scary part about what happened tonight, and I want you to file this one away, is who knows how long it takes to get back in that spot.
Yeah.
And
look, I don't think the Dodgers are going anywhere.
I don't think the Dodgers are going anywhere. But also, like, we have no idea what this team's going to look like next year. We hope it's semi-similar, but also these guys had some career years, and the reality is that Bryce is getting a year older, Trey a year older. No idea if Schwarber's going to be here or not. Probably going to be here. I like from the standpoint of a little bit of a finality to what this team was. That's the scary part about losing the series to the Dodgers was that it? Was that it? And the most important thing for this team going forward is Painter, Miller, and Crawford.
Absolutely. And can I'll add one more thing in, and it's John Middleton, honestly, because I do think that while there are a lot of questions, and look, I'm not saying he's going to go out and spend all this money or this, but like, I know that guy wants to win desperately. Like, we've talked about this a million times. Like, he's a fan. Like, he wants to win a World Series desperately. So, like, I do think that having an owner who is committed to winning and committed to, like development and all these things that he's done and commit, but like committed to winning, like, I do think that even if, look at the Dodgers as an example. If you want like it's positivity, it's long-term positivity, but the Dodgers have made the playoffs, 14 straight years, I think it is, right? They set the record this year, whatever. It's 13 or 14 straight years, whatever. They didn't win a World Series till 2020. And that was a Bobo one.
Yeah.
And then 4 more years till last year. Like, and yes, the Dodgers have spent lots and lots of money and all that, but like, when you're committed to winning and you build and draft and develop well and you sign guys and you continue to spend money and you continue to commit to winning, like, to the point, it's about breaking through. It's like they almost broke through in 2022 out of nowhere. Like, you never kind of really know what year it's going to kind of catch fire at the right time, or Harrison Bader's going to stay healthy, or Shohei Ohtani gets hurt in a series, or whatever it is. Like, it's such a razor's edge, as we saw tonight, between winning and losing these things, that, especially with these really great teams or good to great teams facing off, that, like, I do think having an owner that's committed to winning, and I believe will keep attempting to win for like certainly the next few years or whatever, I think that's a reason for hope too.
Yeah. In my opinion, Thompson's safe. I think he's gonna be back. I think Kevin Long's
probably
back.
Probably.
I'd be surprised.
I don't know where I'm at on that. I need some time to think about it, to be honest.
I think he's back. And
I think he'll be back. I agree with you. I'm just saying, in terms of what I would do, I'm not 100% sure.
Attach prospect to Cassie. Get off that. We'll see what happens at third.
We'll get to all this. We don't need to do this now. You can't help yourself. You're already in off-season mode, aren't you?
I'm just saying, Luke Weaver. No, I don't feel like doing. I don't feel like doing. I don't feel like doing off-season stuff. I'm pretty surprised we're here. I was so excited to do it, and excited post-game show, and I'm never gonna forget Orion Kerkering tonight for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I will never forget him throwing the ball into Scott Franzke's booth to cost this team a chance to go to the NLDS or NLCS. So, what a time. And what in a true sicko way, what an addition to Phillies fandom tonight was.
Right. Good. We're done. I got to go. I need a little time before I have to do a Go Birds pod about an Eagles ball. All right. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. You're a true sicko, which is what High Hopes is all about. That's really the roots right there, Jack. I mean, I do think to your ridiculous point that you made there, it is the roots of this pod is pain and suffering. So we are right back there. All right. We're done. I love you so much. Okay, that I can go with. I was like, I'm not letting you keep me more. Yeah. I know what you're gonna do here. I love you so much, dude. Seriously, this pod means so much to me. Like, it really does. And I don't think that I could have gotten through it without it. Like, I think this helped me. I hope that it helped anyone listening. It might have been horrible. Wow. Oh my God. Jalen in the red zone, throwing it like it looks like a pick six. Saquon ran him down, but almost pick six. Wow. Oh God.
Hold on. That is nice picking up.
Stop talking. No more talking. All right, I'm getting out of here. I gotta go. Thank you to everyone who listened. Seriously, you are unbelievable.
You threw a pick?
Yeah, it was horrible. It was a horrible interception. Don't celebrate. That is not.
We might be back.
No one likes that. No one likes it. No one. All right, I'm gonna go. Tucker, thank you for this season. Tucker Bagley. Like, I don't think we shout Tucker out enough. He is such a massive, massive, massive part of this podcast. In all seriousness, like, this pod would be nowhere close to what it is without Tucker. Like, Jack and I, like, we love doing it together. We've been doing it forever, but like, Tucker is such a big part of this pod and has been such a massive addition, over the last few years, and we freaking love having him. So Tucker, thank you so much, dude. And I know you're hurting as much as we are right now. And Ryan's boner, he came up with that. So thank you for that, Tucker. A true addition. I feel like it has to be Ryan's boner. All right. we're leaving. I gotta go. I can't believe I have to do this. This is the worst night ever. The worst night ever. Thank you to everyone. I love everyone listens to this podcast. We'll be back for some off-season content, obviously, but everyone who was with us this season, from the bottom of my soul, thank you for suffering with us, and we love you. And